Yeah, YouTubers, Tasman here, bringing you another episode of Foundry Virtual Tabletop from the ground up. And honest, I have no clue. I don't remember what we did in our last one. I think we were doing the players and showing basically uh, ways to create characters or something like that. I'll have to go look at my videos to make sure. But one thing, I did have a request a while ago, and that was to let you guys know in each episode what version I'm currently working with. That way you can kind of gauge, is this old info? Is this current info? Is this info that is more or less, I guess, futuristic info for me because I'm using an older version. So I figured the best way to do this, and I will try and remember to do this, but I can't promise I will always do it, is I'll try and start it out in this cog screener in the options, because this tells you that we're using Foundry Virtual Top version 9, build 269, and our system is 162. These are all the latest. I do try and update all my modules and everything every time I load it up, just to make sure everything's running at the latest and greatest at that time. So now that we've done that, what I wanted to talk about a little bit is inside our actor directory and actual actors. Now, I think we kind of perused over a little of this stuff. I think we created this scum beast from what was it, the Monsters Manual Extended or something like that. But I don't remember everything that we did, but I wanted to kind of go over these different pages that are in the create actor area and kind of help you get an idea of what they are, what they're used for. Now, I don't know 100% of every little, option, checkbox, text box. I don't know the best values for every little thing. And unfortunately, Foundry is not incredibly well documented. It is pretty good, well documented. There's lots of videos out there that will explain a lot of things, but there, as far as I've seen, there isn't anything that is very comprehensive that just goes through every little option on every page. Part of that is because with modules, your pages are going to look different. There's going to be different options. There's going to be more or less depending on, what you're doing. So it makes it a little harder to do that. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So when we click Create Actor here, we get the option of giving it a name. We can give it a player character. This is the type of character, a player character, a non-playable character, and a vehicle. What we're mostly interested in is in our player character. I think when we made our Scum Beast here, I think we actually did it as a player character instead of a non-player character. Non-player characters have a lot less options, and I have to give it a name. I forgot to do that. We'll just do test. So if we go non-player character, you'll see, I want to have these two side by side real quick just to see how different they are. And do we have, not prototype token, I meant sheet. I don't remember if we have, we do not. We just have the default sheet for that. Let's go create another character, test PC. So this will be a PC player character. We don't need to put it in a folder. That was these two right here. Inside of players is also a player controlled, so it's actually giving you the entire folder structure right here. But let's go ahead and just create this guy just here natively and close that back out. So I just want to check. They're fairly similar. Actually, if we go back to the default, let's just go look and see how they compare side by side. I know, no, that undid our other one. Let's go ahead and load up test again. So some things that are missing between them is we have our little XP bar here. Things are moved around where they are, but most of the things kind of are in the same places. I thought, I mean, NPCs do not have inventories. They have features, spellbook, effects, and they have the biography. So I mean, there's limited things, and the actions, it actually is a thing that is generated by a module we have that give us actions, which is just basically a summary of items that you can use from your inventory. Anyway, let's go ahead and switch this back because I do like the one that I use, the compact D&D Beyond like one. I just think it kind of gives it a nicer feel. So this gives us kind of like a D&D Beyond player sheet. All your different attributes are up here across the top. We have our initiative. We have our walking. Now, a nice thing you might not know about this is, let's say you want to also add a flying. So we can actually come in here and say, okay, well, we have a flying of, say, 40. We have a climbing of 10. Burrowing, we don't burrow. Let's do a swim of, say, 30. I don't know. And all of it's in feet. We hover. So if we're a creature that flies, what that's talking about is you have to stay in motion. You can't stop. So you're not like a hummingbird. So, but if we do that, now we can actually hover, and you'll see when we do that, it'll pop up this extra information saying, hey, there's more stuff here. So there's quite a few areas where if you see this little cog, you can actually go in more. So for example, with our charisma, if we have any additional bonuses, global ability bonuses and stuff, we can actually add them there. Most things will actually be handled by the system, but this is for things that you might want to do yourself. We also have our short rest, long rest buttons here. If we go over armor, once again, we'll have the same thing. We have the little cog here. We can say it's based off of our equipped armor. Right now we don't have any, obviously, so it's not going to add anything in there. I like here also that it gives you the formula that it's actually using. So it's using our attributes AC armor with plus our attributes AC dex. So it's looking at our dex value and it's looking at our armor value. So if the armor says, you know, you only get +2 to you know, you can only take 2 of your dex and stuff, that will be all done here. We have our different options. We have flat. This is just a flat value that you're going to input. We have natural armor. So if you're a creature that has natural armor, turtle or something like that, you do that. Equipped armor. Mage armor, if you're using mage armor. Draconic resilience, if you have that. Unarmored defense. Barbarian unarmored defense. And then you can have your own custom formula. So the default generally is fine with just our regular unarmored. And you mouse over that, you'll get this. So we're seeing this death saves portion because our health is at 0. Once we actually have health and stuff, that will not be the case. Usually these two will go away unless I'm thinking of a different thing. So let's say we have 50 health, and now you see we have our health is 50, our max is, let's say, 50. If we get temporary health, you know, or if we get a temporary max boost, we just add those values right here. We would say, and I'm trying to remember if I would do 10 here, and that will give us 60 on our character. This is test PC. Let's go ahead and move it out. Come here, get our character. If we right click on him, there we go, right click, you can see it's 50. I thought, so if we say 60 here, oh, because that's just the max. So if we were, so this is what I want to check. I was thinking temp for a second. So if we have 50 here and we have a temporary of 60, is this added together, meaning this is actually 110? Or, so if I say I heal up, 100 more, does that max me out at 110? Yes, it does. So if I get, and that makes sense to me. So if, let's say, whatever reason, a paladin or something gives me an additional 10 to my max hit point until a long rest or something like that, that's what you do. You just put it in here, and then when you update, like if we say, let's do minus, what would it be? 110, we want to minus 60 here. So now we're back down to 50. And now if we try and heal up that much, plus 20, it'll say plus 20 there, but it only does the plus 10 here. Now, this is kind of handy. Another thing that I don't have set up here yet, but if we go view our hit bar, so if we go to resources here and say always display for, let's just say everyone can see our health, right? So now we'll have this little hit bar here, unless I did it wrong. Always for everyone, attribute 60. Oh, actually, I know why. I'm being dumb. We actually have to come back out here. If I would have updated it to the token itself, it would have worked. But because we updated it basically in the character sheet, which is here, it's not updated. So that's why we're seeing it now. All right, so if we get someone, we have a Twilight Cleric that has the thing that gives you, a plus 14 to your temporary hit points. We could do plus 14 here, and it will go ahead and do 14. We could also type 14, but it's a good habit usually to do the plus and minus, because then you don't have to do any math yourself. So if we click on this and say, oh, well, minus 2, it automatically does the math for you. So you can see here, if we zoom in, that now we have this tiny little blue bar that is representing our health. Now, cool thing about this is it automatically will deduct from that before it deducts from our actual hit points. So it knows that deduct your temporary first. So as you can see, we have 72. So if we take minus 10 away, you'll see it hit our mini bar there. And now if we go here and go a little lower, let's say minus 10 more, now it takes that all away and then gives us our bar here, which is this color. Now, as I recall, let me just do a real quick check. If we take, say, minus 35. So this purple right here, this is representing the extra 10 hit points. So if we went to 50, it would come right up to this edge of the bar. So if we took this just directly to 50, we won't add or anything. You'll see it takes us right to the edge of the bar, and then this purple is actually that additional 10 that we can get. So it gives you a visual representation of those options right there. All this is just text fields. You can edit them how you see fit. It doesn't actually do anything. As far as your race and background, there's not a selector or anything. Our inspiration obviously is right here. If it's red, it means it's on. Proficiency bonus is right here. All our different skills are here. Not sure why our athletics is actually expertise. But those are your options. So you have one check is going to be proficient. The half is going to be half proficiency. And then the double is going to be double proficiency. And then we have off. Then a nice thing about this specific sheet is it also gives you your levels of exhaustion. Now, I haven't really played with it enough to know if it, like if I say level 1, if it's automatically going to give me disadvantage on my skill checks. So if I, click on this, I think I'd have to do disadvantage there to get that disadvantage to show up. So it's not intelligent in that way. There are modules and stuff like that there we go, that might fix that, or make it so it is. I'm gonna close out all these dumb windows. So if you come in here, you'll see it just rolled regular. It didn't actually do disadvantage automatically for us. It's just rolling regular. So we would have to know, yes, we get disadvantage from exhaustion. Let's go back into our character and test PC and continue on. So if we keep scrolling down, this is where all the items in a normal PC sheet are actually over here. Here it's just all attached to the scroll bar. So we have our senses here. If we click on the little edit button, it will give them all right here so we can actually see them. So we say dark vision, 60 feet. Maybe we have devil sight or true sight or something. If we have a special sense, such as devil sight, it's not necessarily counted here. We can add it here ourselves, and then maybe like in parentheses, just say 120. We actually set all this stuff up individually on the token. So we come under our vision here, and we say 120 is our dim sight, and maybe 60 is our bright sight, or maybe it doesn't have bright sight when you're in devil sight. You can set it up however it's supposed to be set up. So we do have all our different options here. We have our senses, our languages, damage immunities, resistance vulnerabilities, condition immunities, weapon proficiencies, armor proficiencies, tool proficiencies, then we have our special traits. So if we go under weapon proficiencies, everything is actually there. All you have to do is check the box, or with a special thing, you just add it in there and then add a semicolon to add a second one. Special traits, we have lots of different things. This is, if you are a monk that's reached the spot where you have Diamond Soul, you can check that. If you have certain feats, the alert feat, it will automatically add 5 to the initiative. So a lot of these special ones are actually set up. And then there's, global bonuses and stuff like that. So you can come in and tweak it however you need. These 3 resource guys right here are more just for you. Once again, you can say something like it recovers on a short rest or a long rest. This is great for key points, sorcery points, combat, what is it called? Superiority die, all that kind of stuff. You can keep track in these. Just put what the max value is, what the current value is, and give it a name. And then, of course, we have our actions will be automatically made by based off of our inventory. We have our spell book. If we're a caster, we can add spells in here by clicking add spell, or if we open up a compendium that has spells, we can just drag and drop. Same thing with the inventory. We can just drag and drop them in here, and it'll automatically put them where they need to be. It will give us the option of saying it's equipped or not. If it is equipped, it will automatically add it into actions. If we have features, we can add those. Our background, class level, if we have multi-classed, this is where, you could go into the race thing and classes, and drag those onto here. If you have active abilities, they'll automatically come in here as you drag them. Passive abilities, same type of thing. Then we have our effects. Now, I think in a previous, I don't know if it was in this set when we were doing version 9, but I know in one of my previous videos we did talk about, making it so we had a ring of AC plus 2 or something like that, or things along those lines. I will end up remaking that and how to set up temporary, passive, and inactive effects. Basically, an inactive effect is a temporary effect that is currently inactive, but you don't want to delete it. So we're just at 20 minutes. I think we pretty much went over the majority of this stuff. I just want to really quick go over the prototype token, and then I think we can call this good. If you have any questions, you can always ask questions in the comments section. So let's go ahead and look at the prototype token, which is the actual token that is brought out to the sheet. So one thing I really want to point out, if I come in here and let's say we make this hostile, right? And then say update token. If we come into this token, it's not necessarily going to have that thing set. So if we come into here, it's not. If we double click our token here and open the sheet and then go to token, you'll see this is kind of the template that it's using to create the token that's on the sheet. So if you want things to be updated for a specific character on the sheet, you would do it on the sheet. If you do it here through either, looking at the character sheet itself and then clicking on prototype token, you will want to then delete the token off the sheet and drag it back onto the sheet. So just a little pointer there. So if we go back to test PC here, actually we close this one real quick. So we go, and one thing I just noticed, I'm not sure if it's always this way, but you'll notice this actually says prototype token and it says hostile. But if I double click the PC, it just says token. And here you can see it actually says friendly. And you'll also notice that if I click on this sheet doesn't give me a sheet. So it's kind of weird the way that works, but that's kind of how it works. So like I said, let's go ahead and go back into our token for our character on the sheet, because that's what we want to see. Look at this stuff. So first thing we have here is the token's name. This will be the name that appears if you have it set to be above the token, or is it below the token? I'm not sure. We can actually see it right here if we say always for everyone, so they can all see it, update token, and there you go. Now we have test PC there. It is below the token. So anyway, this is the name of your PC. This is the represented actor. So this is saying this token is associated with this actor. And we can actually change it, and it will basically list every one of our actors, and we can point it to a different one. The link to the actor means if I make changes here, then it makes changes here, right? Now, that's kind of not true from what I've seen, but it carries a lot more information if they're not linked. Like if we go to the Scum Beast, I believe this one is, this one is an NPC. If we go look at his, he is not linked to the actor, and part of that is because when I drag a Scum Beast on, if I drag another one, I want it to be another token. So it actually saves all the token information on that. I don't know if that makes any sense at all. Here's our coordinates on the map. We're at 1100 by 1050, where y is 1050. Our elevation is currently 0. We can change our elevation here. Our rotation, for this we might as well have it locked where we're always face up, because it's a front-facing token. Now if it's a one over, kind of in the air like this, then you might want to have rotation available to you, but really there's no reason to have rotation on a token such as that, or like a round token with just a picture in it. So you can set the rotation if we really want to be 90 degrees. We just click on that. Once we hit update token, you'll see our image moved 90 degrees. Not all the other stuff, just our token. If we lock rotation, like I said, it will make it so we cannot rotate our token. So we'll go and do that. Our disposition is friendly. Under appearance, this is what our token actually is linked to. If we go in here and go to assets and do tokens. And let's go ahead and just do humanoid and maybe a berserker medium. I don't know what this one is. We can always see it real quick. Here we go. Let's do druid medium humanoid. Go all the way to the bottom, hit select file, and once we hit update token, that will update our dimension. This is how we sit in the grid. Right now we take up 1 grid length, width, and 1 grid height. Our scale is 1. This kind of automatically, you know, will say our scale is going to be bigger or smaller. We can mirror our image, whether it's horizontal or vertical. We can tint the color of the token to kind of give it a red tint or whatever color we want, and how transparent our token is. Unfortunately, I can't really show you without exiting and saving and all that. Then we kind of went over our vision. Do we have vision? So if we don't, this means we don't see anything. If we do, then it will go ahead and give us these options. Our vision angle is 360. However, really, your vision, because your eyes are in the front of your head and you can't see behind you, you'd want like 280, I think, is kind of gives you a peripheral vision as well. But most people just leave it 360. You know, our dim vision is the further vision out. Usually with dark vision, you would just simply be 60 feet. There is no bright vision with dark vision. We can go to our light. This is if we're carrying a light. How bright is that light? How much of it is bright? If it's a torch, you know, we might have 10 feet of bright, 10 feet of dim. So we could do like 10 here and then 20 here to give that 10 and 10. The mission angle, is it a hooded lantern? Is it angled? Is it kind of a spotlight? Our light color and our color intensity. We have light animations that we can use if it's a torch or something else. Animation speed, reversing the direction if it's a directional animation, and the animation intensity. Then we have our advanced option, which gives you luminosity, saturation, all kinds of stuff you can do with this. And then finally we have our resource tab. This is our health bar that we did, where we can see, everyone can see our health, right? You can see the current value is 50 of 60. We also have the option of adding a second resource bar. I've never really found a reason to do this yet. Because we don't have like a shield that goes down or something like that. I don't know. We could put our AC value in there as a bar, but it would always be maxed out. So I've never really actually used the secondary resource bar, because I can't honestly think of anything to kind of keep track of. And we have our primary, secondary, and the tertiary. These resource ones are linked to the little things I pointed out in this sheet. However, they aren't really bars. I mean, it would be more, you know, if I wanted to keep my AC as a value that I just see, we could come to, where is it? Movement, passive, arc. No. I thought AC was one of these in here. But I'm not going to take a lot of time trying to find that out. Oh, single values, probably in here. There's our AC. So if we wanted to just have it be our AC, there you go. There's our guy there. But it's not actually giving us a bar, as you can see. So it does put up here that our AC is 10. So I guess if it's not a single value, it's not going to draw a bar. But really, I don't know. I guess you could keep your AC there. But when you put a character in the combat tracker, as the GM, you're going to be able to see their AC anyway. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. So we're closing in on 30 minutes. So let's go ahead and end this. In fact, we might be at 30 minutes by the time I put my intro on. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this was helpful to you in some shape, way, or form. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, leave a like down below. Helps me tremendously on YouTube. Aside from that, you know, comment. I already said like, subscribe. Tell other people about my channel. Check it out. If they like what they see, they can sub. We grow the channel, you know. It's a win-win situation for everyone. And that's it, my friends. Until next time, I'll be seeing you later. Bye.